Hello everybody, so today I'm going to share with you this practice in mindfulness, which is very commonly called the attention on our breath, paying attention to our breath. So breathing is a very automatic process. We normally don't think about how we breathe or even when we're breathing. A lot of times we don't even realize that we are breathing, or we are breathing slow or fast, but then it is actually a very automatic response that our body has towards an external threat or an external situation. So for instance, when I'm driving and when I see somebody cut my lane, I'll be angry, and when I'm angry, you breathe faster, you breathe deeper. So it is a very automatic process. So brain scientists, neuroscientists have been studying the effect of this automatic response that we all have, that are all ingrained in us. Our minds are cultivated over the years, and it automatically responds to external stimuli. So one of the ways to be in control, to calm ourselves down and to take more control over our emotions, is to learn a skill to break the automatic process of responding to external stimuli. So one of the very common, easy to do thing is to redivert our attention to our breath. The breath is an ongoing thing. It won't stop unless you're dead, right? So one way that psychologists and counselors employ is to teach their clients how to consciously refocus their attention on the breath. Because when we are able, when you're feeling scared, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling depressed, when you're able to cultivate this practice of focusing on your breath, you will be able to delineate your attention. So example, if your attention is being hooked by anxiety and depression inside you and all the thoughts that are going on, you would definitely notice that your body is telling you that and your mind is telling you that. So if you cannot notice, if you do not notice something, that means you are not placing the attention on that something. So if you're able to focus away from a particular unhelpful emotion that you're feeling inside, then you'll be able to break the automatic response that your body have towards it. So it is a very powerful thing, and depression and anxiety and a few other major disorders have already been perceived as an attention disorder. So what's an attention disorder? So when you have a very bad thing that happened to you in the past, and your memory is hooked, your attention is hooked by the memories or even the bad feelings pertaining to that event. It is said that you are hooked, your attention is hooked by the emotion from the past. So if you keep worrying, you can't help but worry about tomorrow and the future. For instance, you're not doing well in your job, and you keep worrying. You keep worrying about losing your job, about the potential of losing your job, about the boss scolding you, about all the negative things that might or might not happen. You are being hooked by these emotions of the future. Yeah. So, but if you're able to consciously focus your attention to the present moment in the form of your breath, and also other things that I'm not going to share with you in this session, you'll be able to create a psychological space between your attention and your emotions. And when we're able to create a psychological space within us, we will feel calmer to make choices that are in line with what you want, to build a better tomorrow, to build a life that you desire, that is in line with your values. So I'm going to show you very fast today how we can practice focusing your attention on your breath. which is one of the very fundamental steps in mindfulness training to help cope with stress reduction, to cope with emotions that are not helpful. Yeah. So when the next time when you're feeling anxious or when you're feeling down or depressed, and you know that you do not want to feel this way, and yet you can't help yourself, the more you tell yourself to stop thinking about something, to stop worrying, to stop being affected by whatever has happened in the past, and the more you can't do it, try this. So breathing has been commonly used to help us relax. But the purpose of this exercise is not to relax, but to focus your attention. So I repeat again, the crux here is your attention. If you're able to control your attention, which is here, your attention, you will be able to create a space from unhelpful thoughts and emotions. So very quickly, say for instance, I'm feeling anxious today. I'm affected by something. For instance, it could be my boss scolded me over something and it was my mistake. So what I can do, first thing first is I acknowledge. I don't suppress my bad emotions, nor do I distract myself and negate the bad emotion. The first step in mindfulness is to acknowledge whatever is happening and accept that you're feeling this way. So I always say that bad emotions are like an emotional storm that's in us. We can't control the storm. We can't control the storm at all. But we can devise a way to cope with the storm. We can't force the storm to be away, but we can devise a way to cope with the storm and wait for the storm to be over before we regain ourselves. So breathing is one of them. So when you have a bad day, you have a bad emotion, and you know that you have to be focused on what you're doing, the task that you're doing at the present moment, you can firstly acknowledge. You can use a hand to locate the bad feeling that is normally felt over here, the chest area or in the gut. So you can put your hand, one or two hands, onto that area to locate it, localize it. And then what's going to happen next is you can say, yes, I acknowledge that I'm feeling this way and notice that I'm feeling this way because my attention is being captured by this emotion, right? And then I can close my eye and I can breathe in using my nose. So I take in one deep breath and then I store my breath there for 3 seconds. And when you're doing this, you can actually focus your attention. Your attention is like a beam. It's like a beam of spotlight, and you can just focus it inward onto your breath. And you store it there at count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You can breathe out slowly using your mouth and making a ha sound. So it goes like that. 1, 2, 3. And again, breathe in. 1, 2, 3. So as you do this with the attention being focused on your breath, more often than not, you will realize that your focus is on the present moment, which is your breath. And when you're able to focus your attention away from the bad emotions that are inside to the breath, more often than not, you'll feel that you're creating a psychological space within. And when you're not so hooked by the bad emotions, you'll be able to calm yourself down. It's just likened to you encountering a storm, a tornado inside. It's an emotional tornado. And when you're able to focus your attention away from the tornado, you can actually get yourself away from the emotional tornado. And when away from the emotional tornado, you'll be able to feel that, oh, I'm not actually sucked into it. And when you're away from the tornado, a bit further away, you will be able to gain your calm and to make sound decisions, logical decisions on how and what would be useful and helpful for you. Yeah. So I hope this video will be able to help you find your calm amidst your emotional storm within. Thank you.